In this video we're going to be talking about our other dog that we haven't mentioned before. We haven't mentioned poor Aggie because we don't normally take her out on walks. She's getting very old now, but we thought we'd update you because she is at the veterinary surgery just recovering from an operation. So keep watching and we'll tell you how it went. Subscribe
and click on the bell.
Hello.
Hello everybody. So we've had a bit of an emotional couple of days. We've already introduced you to Pippity Scatterdog, Luna, who's our little adorable walking companion, cheerer-upper extraordinaire, but we haven't told you about Aggie yet. And Aggie, or old lady dog, Mrs. Woo as she's also known.
So many nicknames.
Many nicknames. We actually got her when she was 6 months old, when we were still back in the UK, and she was your first dog, wasn't she?
Yeah, my very first puppy.
And after that we got Sam. We'll go into Sam another day. But Aggie has been with us for such a long time, hasn't she? And she survived the trip over here and then has enjoyed many walks along the beach and in the sea and up mountains and things with us.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to be here on the west coast of Ireland with her.
She's loved it, hasn't she, as well?
And she's hardly had an illness in her life at all, really.
Well, the only time we've ever had to take her to the vet was when she needed her vaccinations. So that's the only time up until very recently. And of course she turned 14, or we think roughly 14, because we rescued her, so we don't know her exact age. She turned 14 in February, so she is the equivalent in dog years of 100 now, so she's old lady dog.
Yes, she should have a walking stick.
I know.
You've all done very well.
I'm 100, you know.
100 years old.
So bless her. She's suddenly, kind of got a bit sick, and when we lost our other dog Sam in September last year, she kind of went downhill a little bit. Then we got Pippity Scatterdog in December, and things started to perk up, and she started to run around like a loony again, like a puppy. And that's when we noticed, just shortly after lockdown, that she'd hurt her eye, and Pip had hurt her eye at the same time.
Yeah, she keeps leaping all over her all the
Well, they
time.
leap over each other, they're crazy.
Yeah, they're very playful.
Just thinking, you're so old, stop it. But
yes, and of course, with probably she's had dirt on her paws and that, and then it's got in the eye, and there was either some kind of infection, or we don't really know what it was even now. They might tell us actually after we've got her back tomorrow. What
exactly happened. But this has been going on, like I say, since about April time, and she's had various medications, antibiotics in internal form and external form, and nothing seems to be working. So we finally took her back to the vet yesterday after the last lot of antibiotics, and he said, I can't do this, you need to go to the big vets in Killarney. So we all...
Yes, because they do more of the pets.
Yeah.
Whereas right out here in the countryside in rural Ireland, they tend to treat the bigger animals, really.
Yeah,
that's what they used to for farm animals.
Yeah. So although they've done a cracking job and really trying to help us out, they did recommend that we go to the Ark in Killarney. So we all got in the Sharabang and disappeared off up to Killarney, and we got in to see the vet, and she looked in her eye and she said that she couldn't see anything inside her eye.
It's all got completely opaque, she couldn't see through, and of course Aggie's not been able to see through it for
a long time.
A few months now, at least.
A long time, I think, And she said there was nothing more that we could have done for her, really. I mean, it was just that, an unfortunate set of circumstances that led us to this point. So they gave us two options, and the options were to try medicating with some glaucoma medication and some more antibiotics, and see if we couldn't heal her that way, or to go for surgery and to remove the eye, because she said there is a danger that, wait for it if you're squeamish, that her eye could actually burst. And we were just thinking, oh dear, no.
It wasn't going to be quite as quite like that. It would have, although it would have looked pretty awful.
Poor old thing.
But it would have been a bit hanging out.
I know, poor old girl. Oh dear, I'm not sure we should mention all that, but anyway. So she She was in a bit of a state, poor old love, and so...
Yeah, and there was pain there. The vet described it as being, like, imagine like an eye is a balloon that's already blown up.
Yeah.
Imagine then it's blown up more and more and more, and so she has been in pain, and she's, whenever Pippity's got near her, or whenever we put our hand near her,
she's out ducking out the way.
She'd be flinching even before we got near. So,
but she's always been very good at hiding her pain if she is in any pain. She's always been very good at keeping that hidden from us, isn't she? So we haven't really noticed. She's been very good at hiding it.
And of course we've been in lockdown, so we couldn't. To begin with, we couldn't go to Killarney unless it was an absolute emergency.
Yeah.
And we did go for one thing, didn't we?
We did, because she ended up with a really unfortunate stomach upset that meant she got very, very sick. So we took her up there and they sorted her out very quickly. So that was brilliant. So we were happy to go back up there again to see the vet again. So they gave us the option, do you want to go for the medication or do the surgery?
And that was yesterday.
And that was yesterday, and as of today, she has had her eye removed. So she's going to be pirate dog. Har, Aggie, my lad. So yeah, we don't know what's going to happen now. She's still there. It's currently Friday. We have to pick her up on Saturday at some point.
Well, they've told us she's gone through it. She's gone through the operation, and she's now out of surgery and recovery.
And she's okay. So she made it through the surgery,
which is amazing. I mean, for a 100-year-old,
we were worried. We were worried.
She'll be free of pain.
Yeah. We did think about the medication, but then she said there's a very slim chance that the medication would work, and then she'd probably have to have her eye removed anyway. So we were thinking, there's not much time left for the old dear. Let's just give her some relief.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she's already blind in that eye anyway, so it was kind of the choice.
Yeah, and she's half blind in the other eye, and she's mostly deaf, although I think it's selective deafness, unless you shake a packet of dog biscuits, and then she comes running.
Or open the fridge.
Open the fridge, yes.
If you open the fridge, she's there.
There's nothing wrong with her nose. She can smell meat from a mile off.
No. So we'll keep you updated, and hopefully the next time, later on in this video, the next thing that you'll see after this cut is Aggie back at home.
Yes. Or even in the car. We might take the camera with us.
Yeah, so we can see her.
She walks out.
She'll probably have a cone of shame.
Yes, the cone of shame. We can't let Pippity near the cone of shame, she'd just eat it.
She would eat it.
She's eaten half of Aggie's dog bowl already. Every time they finish a meal, she tries to take a bite out of Aggie. She never takes a bite out of hers.
So I had to have Pip in bed last night, because otherwise she would have been squeaky dog downstairs.
Yeah, she can't cope with being alone. She had wrecked the place, all of the stuff inside her pen, which is quite big.
Yeah.
When we got back yesterday from the vets, because we'd left her on her own for 6 hours.
Yeah, we had to.
So she was very quiet this morning, actually, as if she'd been stressed yesterday.
Yeah, and I think she misses Aggie too. Normally when she comes in from the walk, she comes bounding in, because it's like, I need to see Aggie and tell her everything I saw and smelt. But she didn't. She just plodded in, and it was, they know.
They know. Put some comments, subscribe, and click on the bell, and like the video, and all of that stuff.
Give us your best wishes for Aggie Poo when she comes back.
And here we go. Here's Aggie. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's a good night. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good night. Good morning.